Hi, this is Scindia Balasingh, host of MOV Leaders Podcast, a podcast where we celebrate women leaders. I sincerely believe women are setting trailblazers in every field. Celebrating it and acknowledging it will empower them more. This is the first step for the same. Before moving into our first episode, I like to congratulate the Air India all women crew pilot team for setting a new heights by flying a longest distance flight from San Francisco to Bangalore. Congratulations to those fearless women leaders. Today, we are going to have one such fearless women leader in our show. As promised for the episode 1, we have brought in Angelica Reyes, head of Europe marketing for Freshworks. She is having 20 plus years of rich experience in marketing and tech industry. And she is a proud owner of many awards and she is known for her innovative campaigns. And I am so fortunate enough to closely work with her. And in fact, I learn a lot by collaborating with her, and still the learning continues. That's why we are bringing her here. I'm sure her insights is going to shorten the learning curve for many upcoming women leaders out there. Without any further delay, let's bring Angelica Reyes to the show. Hi, Angelica. Welcome to the show. I'm
Hello.
sincerely honored and super happy to host you as the first guest for the MOV leaders. In your busy schedule, you have accommodated us. Once again, thank you for that. 20 plus years, wow, that is something really amazing. That too, as a marketeer in tech industry. I always look up to you, and you are one such inspirational leader. In your own words, why don't you tell us about your journey and background?
Thank you. First of all, Scindia, I want to thank you and I want to thank the MOV team for having me as your first speaker for the Leaders podcast. I'm super honored myself to be part of this. Hopefully, gonna be a long journey. I think there's a lot of great stories of great of great hero women out there. And yeah, again, I'm super honored to be the first one to make it. Yeah, just maybe to introduce myself. Indeed, I'm currently leading marketing for Freshworks in UK and in Europe. I've been in this role for 2 years now, and the journey for me started kind of long ago. It's been almost 20 years. I've been doing B2B marketing at an international level. I'm from Colombia, so I immigrated to Europe a long time ago. It was initially supposed to be just a 1 year project, ended up being a lifetime almost. I've been 20 years now in Europe in different roles and positions. I come from Colombia, so I immigrated from Colombia. I had the opportunity to have a very American education and being exposed to different cultures since I was very little. So this gave me a huge appetite for traveling and meeting new cultures. And my dream since I was little was to become a big businesswoman. I don't know why it just came out like that, and I wanted to travel and I wanted to see the world. And as soon as I finished my studies, I traveled to Europe, and that's where I stayed. And ever since I started working, I've been doing marketing, and I'm a huge passionate of marketing. I think that this is one of the most exciting fields out of different functions that exist within companies, because you have the opportunity to create strong impact and to see that strong impact. And B2B marketing is probably less known when you compare to B2C, but I think that there's so many exciting things when you're working and supporting and helping other companies. And throughout my years of experience, I've had this opportunity. I take the very early stage working for a company called Intershop in the e-commerce. Seems like a long time ago. Then I spent a big chunk of my career working for Microsoft in different roles and positions. I also worked for a Swedish company in the data and analytics space for several years called Click. And then I joined Freshworks 2 years ago. So different company sizes, different experiences. And I had the opportunity to become a leader pretty early in my career when I was 30. So that was a while ago, and I've had this experience to become a leader and a manager that has been some of my most probably I've had so many opportunities within the road, and it's a great experience to be able to work and to see how people grow. So I'm very thankful for that.
Honored, Angelica, an inspiring journey though. We both share a common workplace called Freshworks. And sincerely, I personally believe Freshworks is very few companies who pledge for equality, and they do a lot of women leadership programs. And I personally, attended a lot of women leadership programs there. And one of the favorite video for me is Girish and the management team pledging for equality in Freshworks. For the larger crowd, we will see the video first before talking about it.
For us at Freshworks, we want to make sure that as we build our team, we are not only diverse, but we also build an environment where everybody can thrive in. So we will start with making a commitment to having at least a third of our global workforce as women, and over time move towards equality. And I'd like all of you to also join me in taking this pledge and building a diverse workplace.
I'm Girish Mathrubudam, CEO of Freshworks. I fully support this pledge, and let's all work together to create an equal opportunity workplace.
Yeah, that is one video I was referring to. And personally, me and Angelica work in marketing organization. Inside that, over 40% diversity. In fact, we have not even 33%. And on the leadership role, 50% diversity, I guess, exactly. So it's a great place, according to me, for women leaders. However, I like to listen from you, Angelica. Any specific initiatives for women leaders in Freshworks that inspired you, and you think that needs to be extended by different companies? I would like to hear from you.
Yes. So yeah, first of all, I'd like to say that I am also so grateful working for such an amazing company that is Freshworks, so a diverse work environment, and such strong cultural values. I personally admire Suman and Girish, and what Girish with G has done with this company. And yeah, and I think that we're doing and what I like about what Freshworks is we do we say what we do and we do what we say. And I was pretty I remember when I first traveled to Chennai 2 years back, and I was spending time with Suman in her office, such a humble woman leader for such a big organization. And I was really struck by this initiative that had been kicked out of Freshworks, that I think was, for me, very inspiring, and I think a lot of companies could learn about this. And I'm talking about companies globally. At that time, we were kicking off this program of bringing inclusion to women who have been out of work for several years, for taking care of their kids, and I know, as a woman, I have 2 children myself, that sometimes we need to make tough choices. I made the tough choice to decide to be a working mom, and it has not been an easy journey, to be honest. Sometimes it's tough, especially when the kids are small, to be out, and especially I do a lot of traveling, and you always have this part of you that feels that you're not doing the right thing, and it's not easy. But it's not easy either for the moms that decide that they want to just take full care of their children and their house. And after years, when kids grow, the fact that it becomes very complicated to come back to work. And I experience it with a lot of friends of mine who have taken this road, and after years, you feel like you feel that you really don't belong anywhere, and that's really tough because the kids are big. They no longer need you as they did when they were little, and it's so tough to find the opportunity to come back to work. And there's so much talent, because it's not because you have 10, 12, 15 years experience that you can bring so much into a company, and there's so much intelligence and smart women out there, that I just feel this initiative that the Freshworks and Suma was leading into creating and bringing a woman who had been out of the workforce for years, and bringing them into this program was amazing. And that was super inspiring for me, and I think an example for a lot of companies.
That's great, Angelica. Bring back women who had a career break is something not many companies will do. And plus one to you, I'm also a working mom. I also had a tough choice. And Freshworks is an amazing, and a safe place for women to work. But unfortunately, only 10% of the world is like Freshworks. There are still a lot of challenges in workplace. Apart from, though you have a good family and a supporting friends for you, still the amazing workplace is very important for women leaders to come up. I personally came across a hard journey, and myself being a victim of a lot of gender bias, professional indiscipline actions. And I have seen companies not taking it seriously, and they are always considering this is not as serious as sexual harassment. And gender bias is something subconsciously growing. We are seeing that I have personally seen a lot of my friends and female colleagues dropping the ball then and there because of the unpleasant workplace environment. Today, for the working woman, according to you, what are the challenges there? Have you encountered anything personally, or have you seen any of your colleagues encountering, or general for the women out in the workplace? What are the challenges there, Angelica, according to you? Angelica, yeah, go on. We couldn't hear you for a second.
No, I was just saying I fully agree, Scindia. I think that there is still a ton of challenges and biases that I see as a woman and I've encountered throughout my journey. Sometimes I just decide to kind of, for myself, to protect myself and just don't take any of this into account, which is not easy, and which a lot of women don't do. And
Yes.
And even today, in a lot of companies where diversity and gender diversity is very strong, and we push for diversity, there is this biases that we have as persons. It's not even the culture of the company. Of course, the culture of the company can influence a lot, but there's just biases that might exist, and things that are there are biases, unconscious biases, that we don't even think about. We have this women's actually we changed the name of the team in Europe. It was Women's Inclusion and Diversity in Freshworks, Women at Freshworks Europe. Now it's called Diversity at Freshworks Europe. But we had great discussions with this team. Of course, we talk about gender diversity and women in the workforce, but we also talk about LGBT, race, age, etc. But coming back to the woman in the workplace, we things as simple that that sometimes we shouldn't accept, and that I personally admitted I fall into this sometimes, is things are saying when you come into a meeting, and we always say, "Hi guys," and I didn't realize, because I'm so used to it, but that there's a lot of women in the team that we're saying it is why do we do this? We're not guys. There's women, there's men in the teams, and it's just so easy to fall into this. And that's in those very small details, but those small details become big things sometimes. I think that we really need to pay attention, because sometimes people are kind of fed up of talking about diversity and gender diversity, but I still think that we're still a long road ahead in a lot of companies, and it's just not ticking a box into having equality in terms of the workforce and having a certain percentage of women. Is ensuring that you bring opportunities for women that we encounter as well, and that we take into account what is being a woman in the workplace. For example, in the discussions we have as leaders and not only as leaders, as women in this European team, we talk things that are taboos sometimes, and even personally, but especially in the workplace, such as the woman's period and menstruation, things that we never talk about, but have such impact in a lot of women's life, and that they feel bad talking about such a natural thing that happens to every single woman every single month of the year, and then you feel bad to talk about it and bring these topics into the workplace and not feeling comfortable. So I still think, and we're in 2021, and it seems crazy that we're still having this discussion, especially when you would think like Europe is so open-minded, and it's not. So it's still, I feel that there's still a long journey to go to ensure that we completely acknowledge women in the workforce, what this means, and changing a lot of perceptions.
What will be your advice to the upcoming women leaders who are facing these challenges? Because you would have crossed many of this. We all are crossing it now, and you're here today because you have broken a lot of such barriers and came here. So you have not given up. That's why you are here. But there are people who are dropping their balls. So for those women out there who are encountering this, or who may encounter this, what will be your advice for them, Angelica?
Yeah, it's not always easy, and it's easy to say, and not as easy to be done. I encounter, you were asking me some of the difficulties that I had encountered myself when I came back from my maternity leave of my first boy. I had been a manager now already for several years, and I came back, and they decided to cut some at that time middle management positions, which was one of the positions I had at that point of time at Microsoft. And it happens to be that I just came back from maternity leave, and my position as a manager had been cut, and that was very difficult. And I kind of asked like why, because there's a lot of male managers who their positions were not cut, and of course no one would put it on the name of me being and coming back from maternity leave, but it kind of felt this way, and I felt so bad because I started questioning myself and saying I was, and I've always been, and especially at that time, because your perspectives in life change. Especially at that time, my career was really important. Of course, my baby was really important, but I was frustrated that I was putting so much sacrifice into coming back to my job, and after working so long hours, I remember I was 8 months pregnant, and I was working into 1 a.m. and I was saying I made so many sacrifices. Now I come back and I lose my management position, and I was super frustrated. And it's so easy to put it on the count of it doesn't seem fair and unfairness, but I overcame. And I just decided that I needed to believe in myself. And sometimes some doors will shut, but others will open. And it happened to be for me. But just continue believing, because I think that there's so many talented women out there within Freshworks and out there that lose trust in themselves because of these things that you might encounter, and then you feel that you're not going to be able to keep it to some expectations. But yeah, don't lose trust. Believe on yourself, continue trying. It's not always easy making decisions. I still think of myself between your personal life and your work life is not always easy, but I think that you have to have a strong mindset and just think that you can make it. And I've always tried to have this positive and strong mindset and speaking up, because I had both things. I was a foreigner in a country, and I was also a woman especially in IT. You have a lot of men, and how do you make your place? It's tough to make your place in such an environment. But I was not afraid, and I've always kind of spoken my mind, and maybe I speak my mind too much, but at the end, I just was very aligned with what my beliefs were, and just being very aligned to what I thought was the right thing to do.
Great, Angelica. So, ladies, who are listening to that, if you would have listened to Angelica, one thing you all would have understood. Speaking your mind is not wrong. Even I do that, and sometimes you will get stereotyped. Sometimes people will tell, you are headstrong or too much attitude, but doesn't matter. When you are speaking up for the right things, if the environment is right, they will accept it and they will reciprocate. And you have to try to change that if there is any disturbance to your self-respect. In case, if you are not able to change that, it's time for you to change the place, not to drop your career. There are a lot of companies like Freshworks where they are celebrating women leaders. So I'm not saying that you need to quit, but you have to try changing the environment to make people respect women leaders. If you're not able to do that and company is not reciprocating it, please change and go to a place where you've been respected, but do not drop your career. That's what Angelica and myself will strongly suggest. One more question, Angelica, on this front. According to you, what are the opportunities and challenges of women in European market versus global market, according to you?
I think that today we are living in such a global economy that I think that there's opportunities throughout the place. Of course, there are certain mentalities that might have been more evolved, in the sense that today we were having, actually this morning, we were having a very interesting discussion, and we had part of the team who was in India, and we had part of the team who was in the US, and we were talking about diversity and like how far in diversity, in the diversity journey, different regions were. And as where in India, the focus is still very strong in women diversity. And to be honest, even in Europe, I think that we're still so far, like there's still so many discussions on equal pay for men and women. It's still not the case. And I think it's still not the case in many countries. But I think that there is certain acceptance of like women leaders, and that actually in the discussion we had, the focus right now from a diversity perspective is no longer on only woman diversity, but we were talking about LGBT diversity and race diversity. So I think that the maturity may be in terms of, we've been speaking about women diversity for such a long time in Europe, and women rights, and when you compare where other countries are, for example, in South America, and I'm South American myself, so I'm pretty comfortable to talk about this, things like, and of course I don't want to go into any debates, but things that I know are cherished, to have the rights of your body, and in abortion, for example, in some of the Latin American countries, still not happening, and a lot of women fighting for their rights. And of course this in Europe happened long time ago. So I think it's in that sense that probably there's some that the mentalities are a bit more open to that, and that we're probably now talking about other topics that are not only talking about women in the workplace and women rights, that we've opened the discussion to other kinds of diversity. But I know it's still not the case in other regions. So I think that in from my experience of living in Europe and being South American living in Europe, I do think that we're pretty far in Europe in the acceptance, but there's still a long journey in a lot of areas, and in ensuring that the woman is respected in the workplace as she should be is still questions that come out very often in the European workplace.
That is a great insight, Angelica. So, moving on to the being a marketer for 20 plus years, it is not fair that we are not talking about marketing, right? And I personally know we all admire you for your innovative campaign ideas. And you use video as a tool very effectively, even internally. And, one such video of us celebrating Diwali or any festival for that matter, you use video as a very effective tool. So what do you think about video as a tool for bringing us an innovative campaigns?
Yeah, I think that video opens so many possibilities because you can transmit so many things over a video. And I always think as a marketeer that how do we react and how do we consume as individuals? And I just think that everything and every experience in the professional world should be as flawless and as pleasant as it is in our individual lives. It's not because it's work that it has to be unpleasant. It's not because it's work that it has to be boring. And I've always thought that just think about how we consume video today, and it became, especially during this confinement and COVID times. Me personally, I spend a lot of time over Netflix. It's so entertaining, and consuming information this way, it makes it so easier, especially when there's certain topics that might be difficult to get over reading or text. I just think that education made through videos just makes it so much easier, and you can make it so much more appealing and transmit so much so many things around video. So I am a big fan of using videos, and actually I'm so lucky to have a great team of partners in Europe that have been working with us for quite a time to produce great and entertaining videos. And we've tried to bring this very B2C world into the B2B and make whatever marketing projects we're doing as entertaining as possible. And then to that end, we built this Netflix kind of docu-series around IT, which actually IT and ITSM is not necessarily the most exciting topics to talk about. And we said, well, that doesn't have to be the case. We can make it super exciting and super entertaining and and take a topic that otherwise would have been just for a very restricted number of individuals, just open it to a lot of people, and it ended up being a big success. So yeah, I love videos, and I think that we're just scratching the surface into what we can do with technology right now. Video technology, I think that we're just scratching the surface probably into the kind of experiences that we can offer.
Correct. As you rightly pointed out, when the pandemic struck, everybody was cluttering in the digital space, right? So one innovative campaign, before talking about Experience IT, I wanted to first bring this campaign, which is favorite for many of us, is a cookbook in Freshworks. That is an amazing campaign. I still remember G commenting that to be one of the lovable and best campaign for Freshworks. So let's see a small video about that campaign before we talk more about that campaign. Why don't you tell us more about this campaign, Angelica?
Yeah. So, first of all, for those who know Freshworks and for those who don't, uh, Freshworks, and this is something that I loved when I first heard about the company, was what the company was all about, and what we really tried to bring to our customers is the possibility for our customers to create moments of wow within their own customers. And I just thought it was amazing, because just think about the experiences that creates moments of wow. It's amazing experiences. So I thought with a company that has such a mission statement of creating moments of wow and creating customers for life, we as marketeers should be bringing this to life within our own prospects and customers. So since I joined, I kicked up within our European teams this initiative that's called Moments of Wow, and it's all about how can we create these moments of wow within our customers. So we've done a ton of things, and we do a lot of send outs during like Valentine's time. Valentine's, for example, we did really nice send outs of things like cookies and teas, but always everything related to Freshworks, and like we could go together like cookies and tea, and our customers loved it, and they say, yeah, we're definitely creating that moment of wow. And just at the end of the year, we were discussing with the team and said, like, what's the moment of wow that we can create? And just think about it. We've been all locked down for almost 8 months. People are kind of sick and tired of being home, and there's this Zoom fatigue. What kind of very special thing we could do? And then we start cooking, and someone in the team who said, well, actually cooking is such a personal thing, and when you cook, you care. And when you cook, you love, and you transmit this love to whomever you're cooking for. And you put so much energy to ensure that whatever you're cooking, the people, your family, your friends who are gonna be eating are gonna love it. And it translated so much to whom we are at Freshworks. And G always says we want our customers to be our friends. And we said, when you love a friend, you want that person to feel nice and feel good. And it related so much to the cooking theme. And we said, why don't we do a cookbook? And we do a cookbook, and we send it out to all our customers and prospects, and that's what we did. And it was a great project to bring all the teams together, because again, everyone has been isolated, working from home, and it's tough. And we also tried to create a lot of team projects for everyone to collaborate around the teams and create excitement. And everyone just loved it, and it was so nice to see how everyone put this personal touch, because all the recipes, 36 recipes, we called it 36 work from home recipes, because these are the recipes that we're cooking while working from home. It's 36 recipes from 36 different Freshworks individuals from all functions: marketing, sales, pre-sales, customer success managers, HR, marketing, of course. And everyone brought their special recipe. They had to say why there was a special recipe. And we were lucky enough to find a styling agency, food styling agency, that literally prepared every single plate that we did. Even like the team in India, of course, contributed as well. Everyone sent their plates. We prepared those. And the team that you see this here, and the video is the making of the cookbook. So at that time we did it in Berlin, so only the team that was in Berlin, part of the team that was in Berlin, could come. And of course they tasted all the recipes. It was so nice, because this was our recipes that were being cooked. They tasted, and the video was the making of the book. It is a hardcover book. We send it for Christmas to our customers and prospects. And it's just so nice. And I still continue getting moments of wow from our customers and prospects who send me pictures of the dishes they cooked and saying thank you and putting a smile on their faces. So I think that it relates so much to whom we are as a company. And this cookbook was the way to kind of take it to life, and the video was the opportunity to show the behind the scenes of this great project.
That's a fantastic thing. Those who thinks that women are only meant for cooking, you can see an inspiration lady who made that as a cookbook and as a great campaign for Freshworks and made us a great brand awareness. So just give them a good workplace and open environment. Leaders like Angelica will be there everywhere. The another campaign, Angelica, which I personally loved, you already spoke about that, Experience IT, right? So as you rightly said, that one about IT and complex use cases or anything we talk, it'll be a little bit of dry in the subject. But the way the Experience IT came, and there was so much of engagement. Attendees rate were huge, and it was one of the biggest pipeline contributing campaign for Freshworks, right? How the production happened, and it was amazing. So I also personally have the experience in working on that project by bringing in ISV partners, and everybody loved the idea, and we all collaborated, and it was like a big bet. It was literally like a festival. We all went and celebrated that. So for the larger crowd, I wanted to show the trailer of the Experience IT before we talk more about that.
Human beings who want to interact with a smiley face on a computer are deeply flawed and shouldn't be encouraged.
What better opportunity to learn from each other?
Era of humanizing IT.
If anybody's offended by that, I'm not sorry.
But there's also the downside. And the downside is, are we disconnecting?
Pale blue dot, which represents all of what we ever were, the humanity of it all, in that tiny little pixel.
Those who are searching this thriller series in Netflix, please listen. This is Experience IT by Freshworks. You can see this, series in the Freshworks website, and you will be seeing in YouTube and wherever you go. It was an amazing thing, right? Nobody even will think the video is having that power. Humanizing IT is such a vast subject and a complex subject. But when you see that and the leaders coming and talking, it creates an interest in you. The presentation, the way of representing the campaign was amazing. So, Angelica, already you have touched upon some more insights from that, or any success leaf you have picked up from that there.
Yeah, I still get goosebumps when I see this trailer. It was so strong, and just for the people who have not seen this or who discovered this, and maybe even for those who had the opportunity to watch Experience IT, this trailer and the people you see there are all the IT experts that participated into the project. So every single person you see there is an IT expert. They're not actors or people they're acting for doing the trailer. This is real IT experts that we work with on daily basis. Not on daily basis, but we work with very regularly at Freshworks. And actually, everything started in late 2019, and we were thinking about, okay, what are the cool things that we could do kicking off 2020? And at that time, we never thought that COVID and all this craziness would happen just some months later. And I just said, like, why don't we do a docu-series? Why don't we make whatever we're gonna do? Let's make it fun and great for people to watch and consume, and just be and just sit down as you would be sitting for watching any series, and make it as pleasant experience as that. And then we said, yeah, let's go for it. And what should we talk about? And then we said, humanizing IT is such a strong topic, because we always talk about technology, but we don't spend a lot of time talking about the human side of technology. And actually, yes, us as humans are are the most important piece of like what's interacting and whom's interacting with that technology. So we decided to do something really strong on humans, and that's why the whole docuseries brought that human touch. So it's not only the theme, it's the human touch that we wanted to bring throughout the different series and seasons. And we filmed it as we would film from a quality perspective as a docuseries. And what's funny enough is usually a lot of this great influencers and speakers, they would usually ask for to, of course, as part of their jobs, to get some compensation for being part of the webinar. And usually when they're part of the webinar, they have compensation for doing this because this is their job. They love the project so much. When we brought this project to the 20, I think we have 25 different speakers. When we presented this project, they said, "It is so amazing. I'm in. Don't charge me anything. Don't charge me anything. I'm more than happy to be part of this amazing project." So it was 21 different cities that were filmed, and 21 people around 21 different cities. So the filming crew went throughout Europe. We also had speakers from Australia and New Zealand, and the North America team at Freshworks also got great speakers from North America. And it takes a village to do such a project, so it was a great and amazing collaboration between the segment teams in Freshworks in India and the field teams in Europe. And we just brought in an amazing team with a lot of creativity, the speakers that were super passionate about this project, and you just see it, the way it came out, and the way it was filmed and conceived since day one, and how it came out was impressive. What we didn't know, and what's really crazy about this project, is that the day we finished the filming, COVID struck Europe, and it struck hard. Everything was closed. We had imagined for launching the docuseries, we were going to be doing screening at, we had reserved small cinemas to do like a premiere screening. Of course, we had to cancel, but we never thought that what was supposed to be a great, of course, an amazing project would come so strong, because then people would be locked at home, and this would be a great opportunity to propose great content to consume for all these people that were going to be locked down for, at that time, we never thought it would be for over a year. And it came out great. And yeah, this is one of the most exciting projects I've done throughout my marketing career.
It was an inspiring project, and I'm very happy that I could be a small part to that project. I really enjoyed and learned a lot, Angelica. Looking forward to learn a lot from you. Before winding up, a couple of rapid fire questions for you. So what will you tell younger yourself?
What will I tell
Younger yourself, to your younger yourself? You are younger, Angelica.
That's a tough one. I don't know. What would you say? I don't know.
I would say that. I would say, Angelica, to my younger Scindia, it's okay. Whatever happens, it's for good. You should not feel that it's the end of the world. When you're losing something, you're going to get even more better. So many a times I used to feel very disappointed. I used to feel like I did everything. Now this is the end of the world. But I always seen I've got much better. So if I would have known this better, I would have been even more happier. So I would have told that to myself.
Definitely. Well, that's pretty much what I say to myself all the time. So people think I'm super chilled, and I am super chilled, because I think, what can happen? Like, it's not the end of the world, to be honest.
Correct.
And if it's the end of the world, I can still not do anything about it. So, like, it's not worrying or getting stressed that you're going to fix things. And I always tell my team, what's the worst thing that can happen? Because sometimes we get so upset upon things, and you think that, and it's not. What I always tell everyone, by getting upset, are you going to fix anything? No. It's not the end of the world. No. So you'll find up a solution, and just chill out and enjoy. And I'm pretty much this way myself, and my husband thinks that I'm too chilled out with my kids, but this is how I am. And yeah, I think that's why I keep myself being happy every day.
That's great. Okay, one superpower you are getting for a day. What will be the superpower you will wish for?
And the superpower I wish for. Oh, right now my superpower would be to have a cape and travel somewhere outside of Europe. Oh, and
Plus one. I can come to Europe.
oh my God, that would be my superpower right now, to just go out of this lockdown and enjoy being somewhere
Yes.
else.
Yeah, I completely agree. The one policy which you will bring to the workplace, which will change the fate of the women in workplace, what would be the policy if you have a power you will bring in?
The policy would be to always make sure that you're being respected for what you think, for what you stand up for whatever your beliefs are, and for what you are as a woman. If you have kids, if you have a family or not, whatever you are as a woman, just to feel strong about that, and make sure that you're respected. Don't let anyone disrespect you.
Superb. And the policy should be definitely those who are disrespecting need to be taken severe action. That would be the
Exactly.
policy.
Exactly.
That should be taken very seriously, even more than sexual harassment, as I always feel.
Yeah, I
so
always feel that there's sometimes feel that the people that look you under their shoulder, and this is not right. This shouldn't be accepted, and this is not right.
This is not right. So stand up, girls. That's what we all say. So the final question, Angelica, it's going to be a very tough question. So have you enjoyed being part of Leaders?
Oh my God, I loved it, and I'm so honored to be part of this, and it was so much fun, and I know there's so much work from the team to put all this up and get this up and running, from Anusha and Guch and Scindia for being such an amazing host, and this is really a great initiative that I foresee a long journey, and hopefully bringing great and inspiring leaders. There's so many great women out there doing great things, like you, Scindia, because you inspire me a lot. You're such a humble and inspiring leader yourself, and I think that people at Freshworks respect you and have such a have such a high opinion of yourself. People have so high views on yourself, and this includes me, and I really want to thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you once again, Angelica, for coming onto the show. Those who are watching the show, I am sure it may be men or women, you would have definitely would have shortened your learning curve. And for the men out there, lot of amazing leaders like Angelica can be there if you make the workplace a better place for work. And once again, thank you, Angelica. Before next week, we are going to come up with another amazing personality. Till then, this is Scindia Balasingh signing off from you. Once again, thank you, Angelica, for your valuable time. We are honored. Thank you, guys.